Welcome to Monday, October 6, 2025. Your Day Weather Podcast is being brought to you by the Advocates Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, don't face it alone. Get an experienced local Wyoming attorney on your side. Free consultations at WyomingAdvocates.com or call 307-800-1952. You deserve an advocate. Well, the weekend storm system is moving out. Now, before it hit, very summer-like weather for the first few days of October, then certainly has felt more like fall for sure over the last few days, and it will for another day, as showers will be ending, but it is going to be cool, and areas of frost will occur tonight in some areas, not for everyone, but we'll have temperatures down into the lower 30s and a few upper 20s. Then a nice rebound in temps takes place as we get into the middle to the end of next week, as southwest flow, as we'll show you, will push warmer air back in, but also we have tropical activity off the coast of Mexico, which is going to bring high humidity air into the west at the second half of the week. And that will cool us off a little. That will at least kind of be a throttle on the temperatures a bit, and will bring some showers and thunderstorms. Then the next shot of cold is going to arrive mid to late next weekend, and about a week from today, the next shot of colder Canadian air will be rolling into the west. Beautiful weather just before that front late last week and into the last days of September. Beautiful shot there, the fall colors in Siebel Lake, Colorado. Then in Cheyenne, just before the weather started to turn, it was very warm, mid 80s, light winds. You can see the reflection of the trees, no ripples on the lake there. That doesn't happen very often, and that was nice to see. And also some good scenes before the change in the weather. But we did start to see those changes with increasing clouds and winds aloft increasing, as you can see there from Penrose, Colorado. And then, boy, what a wild day it was across portions of the front range of Wyoming into parts of Colorado, and really all across a good part of Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, a good part of Colorado, into the Dakotas and Nebraska. It got wild and woolly with some showers and thunderstorms, some strong ones, right along that strong cold front as it came through. Great shot of the lightning and the rainbow activity there. And then the line of thunderstorms was very impressive and very intense, as you can see from this photo here. As the thunderstorms, not only were they strong and intense, but boy, were they big lightning producers. Jan Curtis counts here over 700 lightning strikes as that system approached southeastern Wyoming Saturday afternoon. And boy, did that line of thunderstorms produce a lot of weather, not only with thunderstorms, but they did produce quite a bit of hail, a lot of it in the Laramie area, and some snow, as the thunderstorms brought temperatures down enough for that. And anybody that was in Laramie for the football game Saturday afternoon and evening, or watched it on TV, the hail piled up deep enough that hail was on the ground for the whole game. We got hail and a rainbow going on at the same time. So we certainly saw that transition change rather abruptly this weekend. Snow being reported in the mountains of Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, the high elevations of Idaho, and some of the northern mountains of Utah. And you can just see just a lot of weather, mammatus clouds with that line of thunderstorms in Siebel Canyon with that line I just showed you. And then a lot of rainbows. Boy, we've had a lot of rainbows here lately with all this late season shower and thunderstorm activity. There's another rainbow for you out in eastern Wyoming near Yoder. Beautiful shot there. And shot of some snow in the Bighorns above Story. And the Tetons blanketed with a nice shot of snow from the weekend system as it moved on through. The satellite imagery shows that the upper level low continues up across the northern Rockies and the northern plains. Drier air comes in behind it. I wanted to show you this right here. We've got some tropical storm and hurricane activity. We got Hurricane Priscilla that is going to be coming up and moving along the west coast of Mexico. Now, this is going to be taking a few days to make its move. We have the west to east flow up here, but we still have the southern flow of the subtropical moisture coming up. As you can see, Priscilla is headed up along the west coast of Mexico, and by the end of the week, gets off the coast of Baja and becomes a tropical storm. That's going to throw moisture northward, as we'll show you here in a minute. So as of noon today, We still have the trough coming through the back edge of it, but it is going to make its way east and finally move out. There's Priscilla down here. And here's the next wave that's going to come through Alaska, then kind of scoot along the west coast for a few days. Temperatures, though, will certainly be cold. By overnight tonight into early Tuesday, the gray shaded areas will be below freezing. The purple areas will be just above freezing, but in those purple areas, if skies clear out enough tonight and winds are light enough, it will have a good opportunity to go colder than that and get below 32 degrees, or that gray shading that you see here is 0 degrees Celsius. Then this is the warm-up. That next storm system that comes off the Gulf of Alaska just kind of stays along the west coast down into Seattle there. And then if you follow the wind flow, the air is coming from the Pacific and pushes milder air from the Pacific and the desert states right back into the central high plains. So as we get into mid to late week, we're going to have a nice warming trend here as the warmer air coming from the Pacific replaces the colder Canadian air that's coming through now. And here's what is going to be left of Priscilla here as we go into midweek. Rotating around that high pressure ridge coming up into Arizona and Southern California. So here are the temperature anomalies by Wednesday. So yes, a bit on the cool side today and the Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the warmer air comes in to replace the cooler Canadian air. And by Friday, that upper low is going to just still be off the coast of Washington and Oregon. The next one coming in behind it, though, is going to grab it, this system up here, and then eventually push this system eastward off the west coast and inland by the weekend. But before then, southwest flow will continue. Here are the remains of Priscilla by Friday, coming up the Baja and heading into here. So this complicates things a little bit by bringing a lot of subtropical moisture in. Here is your precipitable water forecast for Friday. Now, this moisture will be moving in before Friday, but you can see the dark blue and the purple here, your precipitable water, we're hitting 300% of average of the water content in the air for early October. So you can see there's a big influx of subtropical moisture. So this will produce clouds, this will produce showers and thunderstorms, and there's going to be a fair amount of rain coming into Arizona, maybe into Las Vegas, even Southern California, into the western slope of Colorado. This is going to be mostly just rain showers, a few embedded thunderstorms as that subtropical moisture comes on in. So there's going to be an influx of tropical weather ahead of the next cold front. And here it is. By noon Saturday, it's becoming merged again. That next system out of Canada will come in, pull that west coast system east, and then it's likely going to be in that Sunday, Monday time frame. So next Sunday and a week from today, the next push of much colder air will get pushed in. This is by next Sunday. And you can see we've got a kind of a similar setup to what just happened. Another front coming through the western United States, western Canada, bringing the next drop in temperature. So there's going to be some ups and downs. And there's your next up and down with temperature. The warmer air that comes in midweek gets pushed east. And here comes the next wave of cold late next weekend and early next week coming in behind the trough. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.